Okay, we're going to be putting back together a Penn Bridge City. In my previous videos, I have took this reel apart and I have nickel plated it, I have polished it. In my other videos coming up, you're going to be seeing me nickel plating some of the parts like the posts here and some screws, and the rest of it I did off camera because it took such a long time to nickel plate. Like the spool took forever to nickel plate. I had to do it in 4 coats. It was pitted deeply, so I had to do was nickel plate it. Then I had to take some 400 grit sandpaper. I sanded off the nickel until I have filled the holes in. That's so a little rusty on the spool. Quite often that the spool rusts, I guess, maybe like nothing really rusts on the Penn BAYHEAD because it's in mint condition, but this one did rust, so I nickel plated it 4 times. First coat I dipped it in, I sanded it off. The second coat I did the exact same procedure until I have filled in the holes enough so that the finish was a lot nicer. Then on the 4th it turned out pretty decent. It's not perfect, there is some blemishes on the spool as well as the handle, especially on the back side. You can see a little bit of pitting on here, but other than that it turned out okay. It's not perfect, it's not polished properly, but it is the best that I can do for what it is. This reel is very similar to the Penn 85 Seaboy. This is a early 50s design. It has the wooden handle to it. There's lots of videos on how to take these reels apart, but for comparison wise, if you want to know what a Bridge City is or how big it is, it's roughly the same size as a Penn 85. This is very common. You can find a lot of these. This one just has a wooden handle on it. Some of these have a green handle with a like little steps or like a cone, like a pylon cone shape. They're plastic. They're made in the 80s and 70s, but this was made in the early 50s because it has a wooden handle to it, just like the BAYHEAD. In my previous video I did the BAYHEAD, I took it all apart. Drag washers are the same as the Bridge City. I'm going to explain a little bit more about that next. So the drag washers I'm using are carbon fiber drag washers. This will fit the Penn 65. It'll fit the Penn 85, the Penn 99, the Penn 100, the Penn 200 Surfmaster, the Penn 140 Squitter, the 45 Squitter, the 149, and the 285 Dalmar. That will fit these drags for that, but it will also apply to the Bridge City because the drag washers are the same, as well as this main gear. This main gear is similar to most of the reels that I have found on the internet. That's as much information I can gather. The gear in this one here is copper. This is copper, but the only thing difference is this is also made out of copper. This one here in the BAYHEAD is made out of brass, so that's a change. I'm guessing maybe they want 2 soft gears instead of hard and soft, maybe, I'm not sure. I have polished all the brass where it's nice and clean. I've taken all the patina off. I took all the history out of the reels. Some people are very picky about the poutine and what condition of it is. They want to leave it all original for collectability wise, but I'm not really going to be doing that. I don't want it looking nice. I want to go fishing with it once in a while, and that's just the way it's going to be. So we're going to, first step, we're going to be putting this post in first. We're going to get our bridge assembly. We're going to apply a thin layer of reel oil. I put this in a large blue bottle so it's easier to handle. I don't have to have these little tiny bottles, which are like that big. Penn sells the little tiny bottles. I don't like them too much. I like to have the bigger bottle. So a little bit of oil on there, not too much. We're going to put the post in, just like that. And there's a small pin. I don't know if you can see this on camera. There's a very small pin. I'm not sure you can even see that or not. I'm not sure if you can or not, but there's a small pin that goes in between the bridge assembly and the little cross thing or whatever it's called. Stick that in, lay it flat, and with the hammer. This is a really big hammer. This is what I found in the shop, so you can use a lot smaller hammer. I don't have a small hammer. Very lightly. Very gentle with the big hammer. I recommend using a small little hammer. I don't have one. Okay, you can see that's in. Just make sure that is down all the way with a screwdriver. Get a flat head and just make sure that is pushed in as far as you want it. Because that's what's going to do is all the drag washers are going to go over that. So what I'm going to do is put that down again. I'm going to get a punch and tap it down a little deeper. I have a small punch right here, so I'm just going to tap it down very gently. Oops. Get my belly on there, maybe I can hold it. I'm very gentle here. Don't try to hit it too hard. Very gently. Okay, I think that is. Oops, I think that's down all the way the best I can, and I can see that now. That's down. I'm gonna pour some little bit more oil in here so it's lubricated. Okay, next we're going to be putting the drag washers in. Open the bag up. Okay, so we have the small washers and we have 3 large ones. The small washer goes down first because that goes underneath the main gear. I'm guessing it's like a support of some sort or a washer. Next is this piece. Okay, that's together. So you can see that there's that washer in there that goes like that. Originally it has a red washer, a hard plastic. That did actually split on me when I was washing all the parts. It just split, so I thought, let's replace that. I also want to have good drags on this reel. I don't want to have original leather drags. Some people are very picky on the drag washers. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put the one drag washer in. Next we're going to put a brass washer. Next